Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm going to throw the Baer Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw that back at me and let me know you're here. We are going to, of course, wait, see if a few more folks want to join us. View numbers right now are a little low. Oops, Harold is hosting. Thank you, Harold. Dude Wants His Rug is here. Hi, Dude Wants His Rug. Harold, of course, thank you for hosting. The T says good morning. Good morning to you, the T. I just dropped my mouse, so fun. I'm going to, I can't click away. I have to just go and get it. So you get to see me get up and move a thing. And then I'm going to go stand up, and I'm going to go pick up the mouse that fell. And, of course, that should work. Great. We got a mouse now. The mouse is back. Mouse is in the house. The T threw the mouse emoticon in there. Thank you for that. Lord Crashington, oh no, better catch it before it scurries away. Indeed, the T. Lord Crashington, hello, welcome. Hello to everyone. So yeah, tonight's stream. We're still working on our Exia here. I'll show that kit in a second. So I'm gonna have to take this head apart. You might notice one thing. If you look closely at the face, there's two things that are wrong. One, there's you can see these spots here. Jam's here. Hi, Jam. You can see some spots here where there should be gold. Those pieces don't want to stay in place, so I'm going to put them in later. And I might use a little bit of tack just to kind of hold them in place. I might use a little bit of liquid cement. I don't know. And then also, one of the reasons they might not be holding in place too well is because the sides of this face are they're not correct. You can look at here. There's too much of a separation, and that's because you know, if you've watched any of the builds of this kit so far, is that we're using these heavy plastic pieces here that come in, these translucent pieces. I put them in wrong. I believe that these pieces should be sticking up, and they should be on an angle to fill out the head, and they're not on an angle, and that is causing the face to not be able to close in properly. And then that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that the crown likes to pop up. Also, hey, while we're looking at this Exia up real close before we start the build stream proper, while we're just doing the hangout here, why isn't it gold? There's some gold in this kit. Not a lot, but there's some gold in this kit. You know, we got a little bit of the chest here. These things pop up when it's time to get GN drive. Why isn't this gold? Generally, it would be gold, and it's not. And that's odd. I'm sure that there are people out there that have found the proper gold crown for that to, put it where it belongs. We don't have that, and it's not something that I'm like thinking I need. But it was surprising. Yeah, and somebody asked me about this kit today and my thoughts on it, and my major thought is that it's a pretty fun build so far. Voice crack there. But it's not my favorite Master Grade so far. No disrespect to Lashbrook, who picked this up off my wish list, or to the Exia in general. It's just, so far, it's been, some of the pieces don't, Lashbrook is here, by the way. Lashbrook, we're working on the Exia. The main issue with this kit is that the instructions are less helpful than most Master Grades. It's asking me to do things I don't normally do and not providing any intel to let me do that properly. And that's weird for a Master Grade. One would expect a Master Grade's instructions to be better. That's where I'm at. Then also tonight, I'm going to talk about the Royal Rumble. Now, I have the Wikipedia page for the 2020 Royal Rumble, which is this Sunday. It lists entrants. It has not been updated for tonight's Raw, so I can only make claim of what has been updated as of today before Raw went live. So I'm sure there'll be a few things that come up about that show, but right now I can only tell you what is listed on the website. And I'll just go off that. but I thought it would be kind of fun to like talk about the Royal Rumble and kind of go through that. Content. Am I right? I am. So I'll talk about that. Now, if you don't care about wrestling, it's just one of the many things. Hey, Epic Open World, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. Let's go to the overhead. Let's start with the building. Just woke up from a nap, got back from PAX earlier today. Yes, Lastbrook was at PAX East and is getting in there. The only thing I know about the Royal Rumble was the R-Truth thing where he declared for it and then undeclared for it. Yes. As of the listing here, I'm going to look at it. So this was a very funny segment. I don't care about wrestling, but Giant Bomb was telling me I can listen to people talk about wrestling for hours. Well, the T, that's great. And of course, Jam said, pumped going to be there. Oh, awesome. Hell yeah, Jam. Enjoy. I should have gone to PAX South the year that the Royal Rumble was in San Antonio that weekend. And I should have gone to that PAX South and then to the Royal Rumble. And I didn't, and I regret that. Or I also could have, the year that it was in Philly, I could have flown to Philly back from San Antonio and gone to it. But I wasn't going to do that. I did both those things. Yeah, Lastbrook. I mean, going to PAX South makes sense for you. It also makes sense for me. It's just I haven't been back. I will someday. So we're going to start assembling. We worked on one arm. We're doing the opposite arm here. Most of this is identical, but some of it's a little different. But also, we learned the weirdness that I found in the last time I worked on this, so it should make this easier if I remember how it works. I had real nosebleeds, but I got to see an Undertaker entrance, so that was cool. Hell yeah. So, mentioned earlier, R-Truth. R-Truth, who is a fantastic, wonderful wrestler, has worked very serious. Has been a serious wrestler. Has also been known for being a very fun, funny, comedic wrestler. Has found a niche. He came out because Brock Lesnar and his advocate, not his manager, his advocate, Paul Heyman, were in the ring talking. Brock Lesnar had announced that he was in the Royal Rumble. And R-Truth said that he was definitely going to eliminate Paul Heyman. The joke being that R-Truth thought that Paul Heyman was in the Rumble. And then when he realized, oh, it's not Paul Heyman, it's Brock Lesnar, he was like, I'm out. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. Which, there have been times in the Royal Rumble. Now, if you've ever seen a Royal Rumble, you have a ring. Two people start in the ring. Every 10 out of time, more people come in. If you were thrown over the top rope and both feet hit the floor, you were eliminated from the match. On occasion, wrestlers have made the decision during the match, actually, fuck this, I'm out. And they have taken themselves out of the Rumble. Most notably, generally comedic reasons. Occasionally, just people terrified. But most of the time, they are just, it's for fun. And funsies in a moment in the match of funness. Like someone say, Drew Carey was in the Royal Rumble, and then like Kane showed up, and then Drew Carey was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to go. Which was good of him. Just came in, but let R-Truth win the Rumble. Ultron, I agree. During the Rumble, yell about cheating and giving each other a chance, like me and my friends did with the N64 Rumble matches. Yeah. What is the Rumble talk? I didn't think League of Heels was doing anything this year. Very good, Harold. What was Drew Carey doing there in the first place? The T, it was one of those things where, like, so a thing that I've said this on stream before. It is not a unique thought that I have. It is opinion shared by many. But it is this. Wrestling loves it when people love wrestling. Holy fucking shit. Do they love it when anyone with a name... I mean, they have a belt that you could defend 24 hours a day. They've had a NASCAR person win it. If you are a basketball star, if you are a football player, if you are a singer, and you want to go see a wrestling show, they are so happy to mention it. If you are if you are on SNL, they are so excited you're there. Um, so it was just a thing of like, well, if we say Drew Carey's in the Royal Rumble, maybe Entertainment Tonight will talk about the Royal Rumble because that was an appropriate show for the era. Maybe some people will tune in to see why. Uh, like what? Wait, why? Which I've always appreciated. Um, oh God, I forgot the bit with those SNL dudes. Yes, in the Over the Top. They weren't in the Royal Rumble. They were in the other Rumble. I understand the business reasons. I meant Drew. I don't remember the storyline reason to T. I think the idea was he didn't say this is fake, but he was like, "Oh, this is fun. Like, oh, I'm here. This is gonna be a good time." And then like Kane made it serious to him, and he was like, "Oh wait, I shouldn't be here," which is very funny to be like, "Oh, I shouldn't be here." Uh, David Arquette. David Arquette was once the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, which apparently he was like, I shouldn't be the champion. This shouldn't be a thing. And they were like, yeah, but we still want to do it. And he was like, okay. Uh, Indeed. And now he is also he does independent wrestling dates, and it's nonsense. Okay, so uh, right now, announced to be competing in the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble, is Brock Lesnar, who will be entering in at number 1, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Elias, King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, Tucker, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Brock Lesnar. So here's an interesting thing, Epic Open World. Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion. He is the champion on. He is the champion. Or not Universal. Is he the? He is a belt holder. Now, normally, if you win the Rumble, you get to pick which belt you're going after. He's also in the Rumble. It's a way to make sure that he doesn't have to do a match, I guess, but he's in a match. But I don't understand. Yes, he is one of their champions, which means that whatever show he's on has to have a storyline that doesn't really involve anything because he's not there all the time. But yes, he is a semi-active wrestler. And it's a whole thing. So, things to note. Elias and Roman Reigns are scheduled to be in a match. In a Falls Count Anywhere match. So I don't know if both of them or either of them are going to be... It might be something where one of them can't compete in the Rumble. You would expect Roman Reigns to be in it to keep the mystique of Roman Reigns going. You could also see either... I don't expect to see The Fiend or Daniel Bryan in the Rumble. They're fighting each other. I don't expect to see Shorty G, which is Chad Gable's terrible gimmick. I expect to see Sheamus in the Rumble, even though he's competing. If the losers of the Becky Lynch versus Asuka or Bayley versus Lacey Evans matches could enter the Women's Rumble. One would expect them to enter the Women's Rumble because right now the Women's Rumble has 4 announced competitors, which are Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and Sarah Logan. And one of the things that bums me out is Wikipedia lists that Sarah Logan announced she's in the Rumble on her Twitter account. She didn't even get to do it in a segment. And that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Also, one could assume that because she is cleared to wrestle again, the second half, Asuka's tag team partner, could make an appearance in the women's match. But I could see whoever loses getting in, and maybe they doing something like, because right now WD, if you lose the belt, you are not granted an automatic rematch. They have gone against tradition in that way. So I could see someone losing the title, and then winning, and then later coming back in to win the Rumble as a way to uh, get another shot at the title. I could see them doing that. That is, there's nothing like groundbreaking about that, but I could see that being a thing. Um, oh, we got some viewers tonight. Hello, welcome everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We're working on our upper part of the arm here with some of these plastic pieces that are fine. They're weird. I don't love them. This is the shoulder one, which just connects weirdly. All right, so let's get that there. Let's get that there. But yeah. Um, the other rest of the card is a surprise return. People expect the thermal. So, I expect Booker T and um, or Stevie Ray of Harlem Heat to surprise compete in the Rumble. The trademark Harlem Heat for use in merchandise was recently revealed to be in WWE, which could just mean that they want to put some shirts on the store. But my assumption is the gentlemen in the Revival have been talking trash off camera or on like various non-television properties, other TV properties, have been talking trash about Harlem Heat. So perhaps there will be one of them showing up and getting taken out by someone in the Revival, leading to the other making the save or something like that. I could see that. I have not been reading the dirt sheets or anything like that. I usually try to avoid like, hey, this person is said to be in town, or this person showed up at a takeover, and so they're definitely going to be in the Rumble. I try to avoid learning that stuff because I like some element of surprise. But yeah, my big prediction is that look, he's not listed. I assume John Morrison is gonna be in the Rumble. Like, I know they brought him back to like work on the Miz's like heel turn thing, and they were in a program with the New Day, but also the New Day is not listed, and they're definitely gonna have Kofi Kingston moment. Kofi Kingston is definitely gonna have a moment in the show. The only reason he wouldn't is because the fans will, a percentage of the fans at the very least, will make a lot of noise when Kofi gets eliminated, because Kofi's not going to go to WrestleMania for the title. He's a tag team, he's got the belts, but I can also see that being a pre-show match. Them tussling pre-show. I also expect the AOP to be involved. If Buddy Murphy is involved, I expect the AOP to also be involved. Seth Rollins is not on this list of people competing. One would assume that Seth Rollins is gonna be in there, and Kevin Owens is gonna get involved. One would make the assumption that's gonna happen. The fact that he's not listed in it is interesting. I don't know. Should be interesting. All right, we're moving on to... Oh, yeah, we got to do that part there. B17. But yeah, I mean, like, I love the Royal Rumble. I'm going to be working, so I won't be watching it live, but I'll be following along live. And then when I get home, I will get caught up on what's going on. But I'll just have a... you listen to the New Day podcast. The entrance they talked about for Kofi sounded amazing. Yeah, I don't know if he would send it to me. I have like a respectful friendship with Mr. Megaran. the New Day have a podcast, the WWE podcast, um, and they in the most recent there was Q&A. They got asked. It was really funny. They got asked by Tights Fights, which is a Tights and Fights is a wrestling podcast. So a wrestling podcast asked them a question, which I thought was pretty fun. That was basically like, "Hey, uh, are you ever going to put out the song that Mega Ran made?" Mega Ran produced uh, a song with Wale uh, with an intro dialogue from Kofi Kingston's mom, and it was like music that and it was lyrically representative of his journey and his thing, and they had this whole idea of having an African warrior motif and bringing lots of people with them and like making it a whole like crew, and it sounded very cool. And that didn't happen. They didn't get into why or who pulled the plug or changed it up. But it sounded pretty great, and I want to hear that song. I definitely want to hear that song at some point because it sounds dope. Um, but yeah, I've been listening. I enjoy. It's a short podcast. It's like under an hour, if it's an hour. Uh, so I do enjoy that podcast so far. It's pretty good. It's the three of them talking, and they had a guest from Big E's past. And I know the least about Big E, so it's nice to hear him on a podcast because uh, I know a lot about like Xavier Woods through various things, and of course I've been watching Kofi Kingston wrestle since he made his ECW debut. Never saw him on the Indies because he was only on the Indies for he wasn't on the Indies that long, really. He had such a hot gimmick. He is one of the few wrestlers of his era, of his generation, that took his gimmick into the WWE. It is very in that era, in the 2000s. Generally, which was a tradition from the 90s, was you did a thing on the Indies, you made your name, or you did the territories, in the territory days. You made your living, you did your thing, and then you came in with a new name and they gave you a gimmick. They pitched you a gimmick, or they asked you to pitch something. And sometimes it was somewhat related to what you did outside, but often it was something they came up with, and they were looking to find someone to fill that position. Like a great example is Mick Foley. Mick Foley was Cactus Jack. That was his indie name. That was the name he used in WCW. He made money with Cactus Jack. They weren't looking for a Cactus Jack in the WWF. But they did have an idea for another character, a dark, twisted soul character. And he filled that role and did what they needed him to do and was Mankind. The Undertaker, before he was The Undertaker, he was Mean Mark, and he was just a bruiser, and used his southern drawl, his Texas accent. And that was definitely a different thing from dyeing his hair black and being The Undertaker. It's a different gimmick than the gimmick that he had previously. But yeah, Kofi Kingston was trained as a wrestler, and someone at some point in his early career suggested to him, I've never seen a Jamaican character before as a pro wrestler. That could be really fun. People would get behind that. And then he blew up. He was getting really good bookings. People were liking what he did, and it caught attention. And then he changed the name slightly and joined up with WWE. But it's fairly rare for that to happen. And he was basically just doing the gimmick that he pitched, or that he was doing on the Indies. I think like if you came through the route of the early days ECW, if you were on the indies and just did your gimmick on ECW. Like Paul Heyman certainly created characters, but a lot of people were just taking the characters they were doing at other places or on their own, and were given like guidance and were able to expand their characters. And then often what would happen is WCW was like, oh, you do that? That sounds good. Just do that. So you get like Raven's Flock is just a continuation, basically a redo of the various things that Raven did in ECW, which he had less control over who was in Raven's Flock, but it was a way for him to work. So, sure. I'm going to check this. Okay. Check something there. But yeah, I've cut back on my wrestling podcasts. I listen to Tights and Fights, as I mentioned. That's on the Maximum Fun Network. I really like the people that run that, and it's cool. And this most recent episode was an interview with a wrestling promoter that was very cool. As far as they know, the only promotion where all of the owners, the 3 owners and producers, are queer, and that's fucking cool as hell. It's yeah. And then I listened to the New Day podcast, but I pretty much gave up on every other wrestling podcast. I watched the video version of the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast because I watched their YouTube channel, and they film their weekly podcast, which is some people who are watching this might find funny to know. The host of that podcast is Matthew, the current organizer, the consistent organizer of Botchamania. The guy, what brings you the Botchamania stuff, hosts the weekly podcast for Cultaholic Wrestling, and does a good job with it. But I usually just watch that like on Fridays because it comes out Friday afternoon, and I usually have that on while I'm doing other things. So I am taking apart this because I missed this step. This piece here needs to go in here so that the hands will close in. So I fucked up, everybody. Look at me. I'm not above fucking up. And then also acknowledging when I fuck up. But fairly easy to catch it. Not, we're not totally done with this kit, or this part of the kit, so easy to repair. So yeah, wrestling, getting ready for the big wrestling show. Excited to watch that after the fact, or at the very least, keep up with it as it's happening. Because I will be working on Sunday. Ooh, that reminds me, I'm going to look at my work schedule. I'll be back to my normal streaming time on Saturday. This past Saturday, I did have to stream early in the day. But, yeah, on the 26th, I'll be doing a show that I've done before. And then, I don't know this one. Get 2 shows. Oh, okay. I think I've done this other one before. Should be nice and easy. Some nice shows to tech. But yeah, I'm working this weekend. But I'll be able to stream the normal time on Saturday because I'm not covering a shift like I was this past Saturday. I was originally going to be doing a bonus stream this Wednesday night. I'm now going to be doing it in the afternoon. It happens. At least it's not broken. Yes, Ultron. Yeah, I didn't break anything. I just missed a thing. That also happens when when I get too confident. I'm like, well, I already did this arm, so I know all the parts of this arm, so I'm not going to be worried about attaching anything here, which is hubris. So this Wednesday I was going to do stream at night, but now I have plans, so I'm going to stream in the afternoon. I'm going to start at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and stream. Wait, did I say 3 p.m.? I think I said 3 p.m. I'm going to double check. Yeah, I'll stream a couple hours. I'm going to try to stream like a streamer does, like a video game streamer does, like a long time, like several hours. So if 3 in the afternoon is like, well, that doesn't work for me. I have things to do, Pat. I will still be at work or at school. I can't be there. Well, don't worry. I'm going to do at least 2 hours, if not more. And I am officially going back into Hearthstone. Um, I have not played Hearthstone on stream in quite some time. I have been playing in my personal life, but not on stream. And I like streaming the game, and so I'm gonna do it again. My goal is to a thing that I've never really done is I've showed off kits that I've built on stream before, which I enjoy doing, but I've never built a kit or built a deck, like gone through the whole process of assembling a deck like in front of an audience. So I am trying to build a Galakron deck, and of course I will explain all of that, like what's a Galakron deck, what does that mean, what let's do this here, adjusting. What does the Galakron deck mean? What do I need to do with that? What is it trying to do? But I'll be trying to build a Galakron warrior deck because I have a Rush Galakron deck that I like, but I don't love. I think it could get better. It got nerfed. One of the cards got nerfed in a way that has made it less good. Which is their right, and they are welcome to do it. They did a balance patch for a part of the kit, and it bummed me out because I was like, oh, I like the thing I could do with this kit. Good night to you, Harold. I'll catch you later. Have a good one, my friend. Thanks for hosting the stream. Thanks for being here and watching. Reminder, folks, if you are a subscriber using Twitch Prime, you have to manually renew that, so make sure you do that. And if you're up for renewal because you use Cash Money, if you get that notification that you can share that you have renewed, you can do so. Or if you'd like to donate any bits and coins, those are always appreciated, and you can do that as well. You got options to support if you would like to support. But mostly, I just thank you for being here. I just want to really check one thing. I'm just Googling a thing. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, oh wow. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, I will take care of it later. Someone donated a good bit of money to my GoFundMe, saying PAX might as well stand for Pat's Awesome Panels Expo, which I very much appreciate. It's very nice. Ooh, I am. So a thing that I've been doing is having mini goals, like goals for the day, right? Goals for the day, because like, let's say that you're at $125 out of 500. I'm more than that, so I'm not worried. But let's say you're like that. This is my advice for you if you're doing any fundraising like that, you're doing anything like that. A way to get people interested or excited about it is, well, you're saying like, well, I'm at $125. You don't use percentages. Don't say I'm like, oh, I'm a quarter of the way there. Like, don't worry about that. Just say, hey, everybody, my goal today is to hit $150. That's my mini goal. That's my goal for the day. Or my goal for the day is to get one donation. I can't wait to get a donation today. And you could joke about it like, I can't wait to get one donation and not talk about this for a whole other day. That is a thing you can do if that's something you'd like to do. But it is a great way to be like, hey, let's try to finish off or whatever. So I'm now above $400, which is great. And I'll say tomorrow I'll be like, hey, my goal is $450, right? Because that is a respectable goal. And then at a certain point, as we get close to the $500 mark, I will say, Okay, I only need to raise such and such a dollars to complete my goal. Oh, I'm so excited about that. If you can donate, please do. Uh, just buy Dynamis to put uh, Exia's armor on, says Sazabi. Hey, I do like, you're not wrong. This Exia kit has some stuff that I enjoy in it. I like the GN Drive stuff. I look, Sazabi. This has a gun sword, so I'm gonna build it. I don't. So there's parts of this frame I don't love. Um, there are parts of this frame I don't love, and I can understand. But also, this kit was purchased off my Amazon wish list by Lashbrook. Now, am I the person to put it on the wish list? Of course. But Lashbrook was like, oh, I'm going to buy this off your wish list so you can build it. So we're going to build it. And look, on the grand scheme of things, there's some explanations that the plastic components, the clear plastic components, I wish were explained better. But in general, I got no problems with this kit. And it's a fine enough master grade, and I'm happy to build it. There are parts of the frame that aren't my favorite. That's totally true, and I think that's totally reasonable to not like love every component of it. But at the end of the day, it still liked it. Wait till you get to the ankles. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll do what we got to do. We'll deal with it when we come to it. I also don't mind being frustrated with a kit now and again. Because sometimes, you just gotta figure it out. You gotta see what's going on. You gotta put things together, and you'll make it work as you do it. And I say all this as put that on there. I'm running to immediately a little bit of a problem. There we go. That should line up there. The ankles and feet are horrible in balancing it. Okay. I mean, I'm not doubting what you're saying at all, Sazabi. And yeah, we'll see how it feels when we get there. But I do like the look of this kit. As I've said, I wish that I wish this was gold. But other than that, I do enjoy it. Yeah, has this been the easiest kit to assemble? No, but like that doesn't bother me. I don't mind a challenge now and again. Here's the real thing is there have been kits I haven't loved. Yeah, the Dark Matter Exia. No, Sazabi. At no point do I think that you're kidding or lying. I just don't. It doesn't bother me if this is going to be an annoying build. Like, it's not a Norn with all its orange pieces, because those are always like a nightmare to put together. Even though they look rad as hell, the Norn has always been like one of my least favorite things to build because it's just complicated. But like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with it being like difficult or annoying, like, and when we get there, I may change my tune. I may be increasingly frustrated with as we do it. But also I am fine with challenge or frustration now and again with a build. Like, we've been very lucky to work on stuff that has gone together pretty well. I will say that like I didn't love the process of some parts of the Quanta that we built pretty recently. I think some parts of the Quanta left something to be desired, but it was still a fine enough build. And that, that's part of it. Sometimes it just happens. You just like end up with a kit that you're like, this has not been my favorite build, And I'm generally okay with that. I think that sometimes that just happens where not every build could be your favorite build, right? I got that real grade Titan coming in. I've heard good things about that real grade Titans 2, or the Mark II Titan. But I also know that I don't love. Oh, we got Ultron using the Bear Cave points for the soundboard. So let's hear that. We'll just say I don't. Oh, and we got a follow from Zittily. Zittily, thank you for the follow. Let's play this here. And of course. Hee-haw! And finally. Thank you, Ultron. You can always use your channel points for this. And of course, if you subscribe or resub, I will play. Do you have a nut button for donation? No, I don't have that. But I do any donate bits and coins, subscribing for the first time, anything like that, you get. Because thank you. This was a Christmas gift. It is a silly thing, but yeah. I don't mind doing a real grade now and again. But I like real grades in general. I will say, working in the 144 scale sometimes can be frustrating during a stream because I would, working with small pieces in general. I got big claws. I got big bear claws, so I'm not always the best at that. But at working small, which is generally like why I like doing 1/100 scale, particularly obviously master grades, but also like the full mechanics from Iron Blooded Orphan, that line, and the non-graded 1/100s from that, which are basically full mechanics, but weren't called full mechanics when they came out. I do enjoy those as well. They are fun. Alright, so this is going to go like this. It's going to go like that. I can't tell you why this is having issues coming on, but we'll get this on here. Alright, so this is 19. Oops, put this on there. Yeah, let's see. There's anything else I wanted to definitely say tonight. Okay. Yeah, I will give thanks to my mom for not giving me a name that sounded like a Care Bear. Hello, the Hollow. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Welcome to the stream, my friend. So I thank my mom because my dad's my paternal grandmother's maiden name was Williams. Williams was the last name. It's a kind of well-known name in my where I was from, and so my dad thought maybe to honor that family that I would be named William. He always liked the name William. So my mom was like, I don't want him to be Billy or Willie Bear. And so I'm Patrick Bear. Did I end up as Patty Bear? Certainly. But I wasn't Patty Bear that long. And so that's fine with me. But if I had been, I wouldn't, look, here's the thing. I definitely would not have been Bill Bear or Will Bear. I would have been Billy or Willie Bear without question. There's no way I would have gone through life as anything but those two things. Is just my assumption. Pat Bear just seems like a name, so I'm happy with that. Yes, Lastbrook, you were at PAX South. That's right. Yes, and of course there was some San Antonio darkness. So I do. And it's also just like tough early in the year. For that probably had something to do with it, and then of course things were a little rough there. Also, not helping PAX South is the fact that PAX East is so early this year. This was the year that I thought I would do PAX South, and of course I wasn't going to end up doing it anyway. But I did consider it. But when I found out how close it was, that was a no-go. Paddington Bear, indeed. So yeah, so I can understand why it was why it felt kind of empty for things, because I think people kind of made the call, and then of course as the weekend went on, it was rougher in San Antonio for some people. Um, yeah, I didn't even know the extent of it until I actually read a news story about it. All I heard was someone had gotten shot, not multiple people. Yeah. Yeah. Robot Spirits F9. F91. Ooh, Suzabi, I haven't taken a look at that. I will take a look at that there. But Lashbrook, I'm glad you had a good time at PAX. I will be going to PAX East soon. Of course, Harold, who was with us earlier but took off tonight, will be there as well. I will be currently running 2 panels. I will be on 2 other panels. I might be on 3 other panels. I might have like 3 guest spots on panels coming up. I'll know more soon. So Robot Spirits, yeah. So the F91 is a weird kit. I did an F91 master grade, and I like it. The F91 is just it's so small by design. The mobile suit is small. But yeah, any of your panels on Twitch? Yes. So, Epic Open World. I will have my improvised postmortem panel, which will be a Friday evening, will be on Twitch. My Saturday early evening panel, Pat Bear's Anime Club, will not be on Twitch, but I will be filming it, and it will go up on my YouTube channel. So I will film it and make sure that it's out. But yeah, Friday night I will have a panel that will be there. And then neither of the panels I'm guesting on confirmed are going to be streamed. There's one that I'm waiting to hear if they actually need me, and I believe that will be. Suzabi, background of characters is on a hiatus right now. I might bring it back. I enjoy doing that weekly show because I don't know how long I'm going to do the new show that I'm doing, Baering the List. I don't know how long I'm going to do that. I like the idea of it a lot, but I might burn out of it. I might run out of ranking things or things I want to rank, like, which is, it's possible. I might just end up being like, all right, I think I'm done here. But we'll see. I do enjoy, to me anyway, I like the concept of it. So I'm going to do that for a bit and see where it takes me. No, Epic Open World. I have not made any announcements for any of the guests appearing on any of my panels. Definitely can agree on the absolutely worst Nintendo console. Yes, Zazabi. I think I got a couple people who are just like generally people who have commented to me in person or via social media. They're generally just mad if it's like their first console, if I didn't rank their first console high enough. Like, there's a certain age group where I'm like, well, that makes sense that you were like, you don't like this, you don't like how I ranked the console that you fell in love with games on. So yeah, I can understand why you're like, oh, the N64 should be higher. Of course you think that. Of course you do. Or you think that, this, like this one or that one, or like, how could I not make this S rank? And like, I get that. I do get it. The one I'm putting out on this coming Wednesday is real silly. NES I can see being S tier. Yeah, I mean, it's just the thing of like, it's like my SNES ranking that somebody was annoyed about. There are people that say N64 is the best. That's the thing, Epic, because it's just like, because, like, imagine if you've known games. You know about games when you're a little kid. You maybe, like, see people play games. You've been to our arcade before. But you never really had games. And then one Christmas, or your birthday or something, you get an N64. And your first real video game is Mario 64. I can understand why in your heart of hearts, that's a good console. Because you played a fantastic video game. Yes, the N64 controller is just a bad scene. I can see what they were going for, but it's a bad time. But like, I get it, like, and then people talk about like how there wasn't anything special really on GameCube, right? Like, there were a couple games, but nothing that was like genre defining. But if you like got Animal Crossing for the GameCube, you don't need another video game because you have Animal Crossing. Like, to me, the people that don't think highly of the GameCube didn't play Smash, or which it was incredible on, or didn't play Animal Crossing, or Super Monkey Ball for even Mario Sunshine, right? Oh God, imagine it. Oh, if your first Mario is Mario Sunshine, that's rough. Because I don't hate that game, but I don't. It's not my It's definitely not my favorite. Uh, Mario. Uh, well, yes, GoldenEye. Here's the thing: if you were a console gamer, GoldenEye was a revelation of what could be done. If you were a PC gamer, GoldenEye was like fine, and you're like, this is not Quake, so I do not know. Uh, I do not know why people love this so much. What is happening right now? And those same people would say the same thing about like Halo, right? Like people were like, yeah, Halo's fine. It's no marathon. But for console gamers, they were like, this is a shooter with like, and it feels good. I'm playing a shooter that feels good. It looks cool. Like yeah, like that. Those kind of console moments are what make people like love a thing that isn't necessarily like maybe the best. I know that my feelings on the Super Nintendo are clouded by the fact that I was a Genesis kid. Now, why was I a Genesis kid? Because my cousins had a Genesis. So that way, they could bring their games over, we could play together. That's why I had a Genesis, was just because they got one. Because they were really into sports games, which are not my scene, never have been, but were important to them. So they went with the Genesis. And so I had a Genesis, and so like I eventually played all those Super Nintendo games, but like, you know about the Char GameCube with Wavebird? Yes, Sazabi, I do know about that. Beautiful. Oh, the Wavebird. The Wavebird, y'all. It had such a... I will say, as far as not main, like, because obviously GameCube controller is fine and weird. The Wavebird is, a secondary controller. It's not, it doesn't necessarily come with every system. Occasionally they would, but in general they wouldn't. But man, I don't know if a Nintendo controller felt as good as when the Wavebird came out since like the NES Advantage, the arcade stick NES, because that thing just felt good. I love the NES Advantage. But yeah, that Wavebird controller just like once I started using one, I was just like, oh, this is exactly what I want. Forget the cords. Forget my GameCube. My GameCube controllers are now for guests, and I'm getting this Wavebird, and it's gonna rule. I've never had a Wavebird. The Wavebird is great. Look, it's just obviously it's a wireless GameCube controller, but because it has batteries in it, it had to be bigger. But also, it feels solid in your hands. It feels right. The triggers are a bit different and feel good. And if the triggers are different, I think they are. If they're not, it could just be my brain remembering them being different. But yeah, they were great. And then you could plug in the Wavebird to the Wii, or use an N64 controller as well. You had options. You could do a bunch of stuff. Just put your GameCube games in there. No GameCube go, so yeah. I mean, Lashbrook. I mean, you keep a Wavebird. You don't have to keep a. You really don't have to keep a GameCube. I mean, maybe there's a few games you're like, no, I want to be able to play this whenever. But especially if you have like a Wii, you don't need a GameCube, because every GameCube game played on the Wii, as far as I know. I guess maybe I think you couldn't play maybe Zelda didn't work if you bought the Zelda. No, but everyone would, right? I think it just came out early. So I guess you could buy the GameCube version of Twilight Princess and play in there. Maybe. Lord Crash is redeemed. Play the soundboard. Okay, let's see. And let's see what we got here. Let's do loud air horn, and let's do 10 p.m. soundboard, says Lord Crash. Okay. And of course, love that cowboy. Love that cowboy. Sorry about that. All right, so let's see. We're gonna keep working on our legs here, and then we'll get ready to keep working on the legs, and then we'll take a pause for the cause in a minute or two, and I'll talk about ways you can support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. Going back, somebody asked, I forget who, I apologize. I think it was Epic Home World, asked me if I knew if I had announced my guests. I haven't announced guests yet. So here's the thing, right? I know that I have asked for help from people a lot last year and into this year. What I didn't want to do is make anyone feel obligated they need to help me financially with the fundraiser I'm doing. But what I certainly don't want to do is have anyone who is being gracious enough to be on my panels feel like they have to be involved with me doing this, right? If they choose to retweet something like that, that rules. If they like want to tell people, hey, Pat's raising money, like it's on them. They're great. But by saying they're doing my panel before I have hit my goal is including them in my fundraising, which I don't want to do. I definitely don't want to do that because that's not what they signed up for. They signed up to maybe do my improvised postmortem panel, or they signed up to do my anime panel. So that is where we're at there. Washable Markers is here. Hey, Washable Markers. Happy to have you here on a live stream. My Wii can't read discs anymore, but I'm pretty sure my GameCube still boots. There you go. Well, that's a reason to have a GameCube still, I guess, is if your Wii can't read discs. That's a bummer that it can't. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at when it comes to I will announce guests very soon. As soon as I hit my goal, once I hit my fundraising goal, then I will. They signed up for Ghosts and Juice and Goops. Yes. So back in the day, when I did a fundraiser for, I did a Kickstarter for PAX South, right? Did a Kickstarter to raise money for PAX South. I asked, hey, I announced my guests for 404ing it as I was doing the fundraiser. But the thing is that every guest had understood that before they said yes and agreed to it. I originally wasn't going to do any fundraising. I had a sponsor for my panels, a personal sponsor for my panels, which unfortunately ended up not working out. So because of that, I felt like I shouldn't. I just want to get, I want to get like these things going and work it all out. And then I fully expected to. So is that what's going on here? Yeah, I expect to hit my fundraising goal and there not to be an issue. And if there is, there is. But I think it's going to work out just fine. And then I'll be able to announce people. And then I can focus on the panels and promoting the panels and promoting my cool guests. I will say that I already have some new people booked that haven't done improvised postmortem before. I have at least one new person booked that I'm very excited about. And I will say that I have... no one has ever done the anime panel before because it's new. But I have someone on the anime panel that's never been on one of my panels before. She is new to the Pat Baer-verse. Yes, new people. I mean, some of it is under, I gotta, because some of my regulars aren't gonna be there. But but I will have returning. And then Lang didn't submit. Let's rank it again. He forgot to submit. So hopefully, if like it works out and then someone drops, he might get a slot. I forgot to remind him. I was gonna remind him hey, that this is the deadline, and actually message him. And he's a busy man. He's got stuff going on. I don't want to feel bad about it, but I also like doing that panel, so I was like, oh. All right, so I'm going to finish this assembly here of this part of this kit, and once I finish this part of the foot, then we will take a pause for the cause. And I'll talk about ways you can support the stream if that's something you like to do. For those of you, anybody that's new to this stream that doesn't know what the pause for the cause is, it's just me saying ways you can support the channel if you'd like. You're under no obligation to do that, of course. But if you want to, please do. It helps me out a lot. As I said, my next build stream will be Thursday at 9 p.m., my normal build stream time. But my next stream that's non-build stream is this Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I will be testing decks. I will be building variations of decks. I have from the ground up, basically. I will be trying to work out a new Galakron deck. Maybe there's a way to buy a very specific kit for your pet that's not on Amazon. Well, Sazabi, I'll get to that. I do have a slight alternative. It's not. Unfortunately, I don't have an alternate wish list, Sazabi. That's not a non-Amazon wish list. But there is a way that people could help me out in a generality way. I'll get to that there. Yeah. The Lincoln Park. Yeah, I don't know about that one. So, first and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Baer Cave emote, the Lego emote, the Scythe emote in chat. I appreciate it very much. That's always great. If you're tier 2, you can throw that Scythe in there. Thank you very much for being a subscriber. Reminder, if you pay cash money, you can hit that notification and let me know when it renews. That's great to see. If you are a Twitch Prime user, if you have your Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch and you use your coin, thank you very much for that, of course. You have to manually renew that every month. You can't just let that go. They want you to use that coin and make sure that you're watching the channels that you use it for, which I can understand, and I get it. I have also bits and coins are another way to support on the stream. If you want to use your bits, you could. Point the kid existed is because the band was a fan of Gundam. Yes, Sazabi. I am aware of the Linkin Park Gundam. I like weird Gundams and tie-ins. I am tempted by the Hello Kitty Gundam. I am sure that I will be at a convention where the Hello Kitty Gundam exists and is there, and I will look at it, and I will end up buying it sometime in the future, I'm sure. I just know it's going to happen. But yeah, to get back into the plus the cause so I can get through this quick and get back to building, because that's what I want to do. I have a Patreon. You can support my Patreon. $5, $10, or $1 or $3. I put my schedule up there. There's folks, my next Baering the List video, which goes out to regular audiences on Wednesday, will go to my $5, $10 patrons tomorrow. They get videos a day early. The archive of this stream will go up immediately for them, and then everybody else can watch it tomorrow. It's one of the few things I can do as an incentive. I have an Amazon wish list. You could buy something on my wish list. Lashbrook bought this kit. Thank you so much, Lashbrook, for buying this kit so I could build it on stream. I appreciate it very much. I'm going to quickly look, scratch. There we go. So I've got Lego sets and some high grades that are fairly inexpensive. And I put on the list there the flying model of the 1000 Sunny from One Piece. We built already the 1000 Sunny. This is the alternate version of it for the last movie that came out that is penguin themed so it could fly, which is just a weird choice, but it's fun. Lego sets, model kits, glue kits, all kinds of different things. If you buy something off my wish list, I will get it, and then it jumps the line. I have a real grade to build after this, but and then of course, when there's something that was purchased off the wish that, or when I don't have anything from my wish list to build, that's when I jump back into my backlog, and I've got a few things there waiting for me to build. But yeah, the next kit that we're going to build from the wish list, unless something else comes in before that, is we're going to build the MK2 Titan Z, the real grade, 144 scale real grade. That the lovely Jen Bain picked up, which I'm very happy that she did. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, mentioning this. So, if you're like, Pat, I would buy you a kit, but I don't want to use Amazon. You could buy me gift cards from USA Gundam Store. You buy the gift card from that, and then you send me the code, because they'll send it to your email. And you can whisper me here on Twitch or send me a DM on Twitter, and then I'll take that and use it in the store and buy something from USA Gundam Store. That is another way you can support the stream if that's something you like to do, but you don't want to use Amazon. That's an option you have if you want to do that. You can also donate. You're under no obligation to do any of that stuff. So any money that I make through donations, Patreon, Twitch, all that goes into buying kits and equipment on the stream, and I appreciate it very much. And let's see, do I have anything else that I need to put in? I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. Discord's cool. If you're watching this on YouTube, everything is in the show description. All these links are in the show description. You can watch that there. We'll get back to building in just a moment or two. But yeah, join my Discord if you haven't already. It's nice. People post build photos and stuff. It's chill. And then, let's see. Couple links. Baering the List. This is my weekly show. This is last Wednesday's one, which is, I think, pretty fun. It's a new show I've been doing. I got a new episode coming out this Wednesday. This is last week's one. But I think it's fun. And I think they're like fun, silly little videos that you might be into. So you can check that out. And then, of course, I do have my PAX East fundraising thing. No one is ever under any obligation to someone in there. Look, I say this. You want to come in this stream, just watch. You never want to chat. You don't want to give bits and coins. You don't want to become a subscriber. That's your call. If you just want to watch the VODs, if you just want to watch on YouTube, that's totally fine. I thank you very much for watching. You are under no obligation to do so. But if you'd like to, I genuinely appreciate it. I gotta send some nicknames out tonight after the stream's over because we got some more support on my GoFundMe, which is rad. All right, so I'm gonna drink some water right now. Throw that into the chat there. And maybe you want to stretch out. You want to drink a little water. You want to take your hand, move your head off your hands. You want to stretch out. You want to get into the vibe. Do a vibe check. See what you're at. All right. And, of course, we're going to get back into building. Thanks for everybody who just tuned in. We're getting back to building. We just did a pause for the cause where I just talked about ways that people can support the stream if that's something they like to do, which, of course, people are in no obligation to do. But it's nice. It's nice to see the numbers go up. Stay hydrated. Washable markers. You gotta. You gotta. And I don't have a lot of anime to talk about. But we'll get into anime and then we can just talk about whatever else. But it's the second half of the stream. This is traditionally the part of the show where I talk about what I'm watching. So, Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken is the best show of this season. Now, that might not be saying much because this season is not... There's not a lot of standouts. Like, people who like ReZero think this director's commentary is pretty good. This director's cut is solid. I've heard good things about that. That's not really a show that I care about, so I don't have a necessarily opinion on that. I've heard mixed things about the new season of Scientific Railgun. Um, I think the first half of the year is going to be questionable. There's some stuff coming out in October that I have high hopes for. A bunch of stuff like new seasons of Quintessential Quintuplets, I think, is April. I think Food Wars is back in April. There's like a bunch of things in April. This season right now is a lot of romantic comedies, slice of lives, which is great because last season had zero slice of lives, and generic VR RPGs. Um, Now, that isn't to say that there aren't shows that I'm enjoying that also aren't in those categories. Like, I think Boofery, the second episode, last week's episode, well, not only did it have friendship and we got to meet the friend that encouraged our main character to get into this game, and then she's doing a weird build, but also there was a montage with a song that felt like it was straight out of Persona 4. And the vibes are just good and fun. I'm into it. I'm into that game. I think it's or that show. I think it's very fun. But the standout has been Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken is a anime about how anime rules. And it's the anime like they're like the film like cut crew. They're gonna make a film that is an anime, but it is a love letter to animation. It is done by the director of Devilman Crybaby, and I've told this on the podcast, or on the podcast. I've told this on the stream before, but literally one of the reasons why he's directing the show is when the manga was blowing up, people on the internet were like, he should direct this if it's ever an anime. Oh, when this gets licensed as an anime, he should direct it. And he was like, what's this show? Like, he just, he wasn't reading all the manga. He was like, what's this manga that people say I should be directing? So when he was in talks with the group that is producing it, the animation studio, about like, hey, well, what are projects that we could do? And what are you interested in? And what have you heard good things about? He was like, they mentioned Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. And he was like, people say I should direct that. And then he did. And it's like, one of those things where like, it's not the only reason, and of course anything else could have happened, but it is, I think, pretty fucking cool that he was just like, oh yeah, I'm now interested in that because people keep saying I should be interested in it. I just think that rules. And also it's beautiful and cool and fun, and I like the characters, and I like the design a lot. I just think it's a really fun, evocative show. Power of like imagination and like just loving a medium. It's the equivalent of Hollywood films about Hollywood or LA or indie films about New York. It's that kind of thing. It's got that like the lovers of this want to love this thing and want you to understand why they love it. And it's great. So I don't know if you need to watch Room Camp. Room Camp, also known as Heya Camp, is the spin-off. It is the comedic short episode spin-off of Laid Back Camp before season 2 of Laid Back Camp, which is my most anticipated title of 2020, is season 2 of Laid Back Camp. That's coming. But this is the jokes ones. It's the 3 minutes with just a closing song. It is, there is a plot to it, which I didn't think there was going to be a plot to it, but there is a plot. And the plot is basically they are going to visitor centers around Mount Fuji collecting stamps, and they have different interactions. They like met a couple that are bikers that are like touring via bike, and they had some fun memories, and it's just a sweet little thing. It's just more of the characters I already love. So I would say if you love Laid Back Camp. Well, you can just watch it and who cares? If you like Laid Back Camp, you can just wait for all of the episodes to come out and watch them all at once. And you don't have to feel like you're obligated to keep up with it. Because you could watch the whole thing very quickly and very easily. Because there isn't a lot to it. But I have very much enjoyed like the ride of it. It's just sweet. Rin made a brief appearance in this episode, which is cool. Shimarin made a brief appearance, which I liked. But yeah, it's really about the Outdoors Club doing a thing. Yeah, it's just a cute little thing. Cute little show. And then the other short series I'm watching, a 3-minute episode, short, is Yatogame-chan, Season 2. It's similarly following a plot. This one was about a weird game that's popular in Nagoya. The whole show is a guy from Tokyo moves to Nagoya and then runs into some weird people from the area. And it's basically like a guy from Tokyo goes out to the country and now is just like enamored with it. But also there's like a cultural shock that he's trying to get over. And then Yatogame-chan is like, for some reason, also somewhat cat-like. And then they introduce a new character who's also from Tokyo this season, who is scared shitless of Yatogame-chan, which is pretty fun. But yeah, they got. It was a big action episode. That's what, quote unquote. It's fine. It's over before you know it. My friend Beej described it best as, I liked it. I don't think about it ever, and I'm not going to watch Season 2. And I was like, yeah, I get that. Season 1, it was fine, but, like, there's nothing. I'm really watching it because it's 3 minutes long, and also, as we said, there's just not a lot going on this season as far as stuff. Like, I haven't been, I haven't given up on anything because it's I like don't have the time to keep up with things, right? I didn't watch One Piece, so I'm gonna take a break from One Piece because this particular part of the arc I'm not really interested in, and then I'm gonna binge and get back into it. But I often take a break with One Piece, and that's what I'm gonna do here is just take a One Piece break. Even though I think the first act of the Wano arc was solid. I'm like, meh, I think I'll take a break. And I also, a show I could be talking about right now, but I did not watch episode 3 of Senton Academy, Join the Pack. I gave up on that show. I found out that the second half of the second episode was about a tsundere cat girl, and I was like, nope. Oh, this show also has a tsundere character? No thanks. No thanks. I already was not interested. Do not need this. That show. I know you're not reading it, but the last panel of this week's One Piece cracked me the hell up. Yeah, Lastbrook, I'm not reading anything right now. I almost caught up with a couple books. I might go back into a few books that I've been watching, but I don't have any regular manga right now. Wouldn't mind it, but I just don't. All right, our feet are done. We can move on here. Put this aside, but yeah, we did our feet. Hey, everybody that's watching the stream. Hi, welcome. I hope you're looking forward to some more model kit building. We are moving on to our right leg. We're going to work on the frame, then we'll build around it. I will say, my biggest surprise this season so far is how Sorceress Stabber Orphan is, I think, holds up. I think, like I said, I don't remember all the jokes, but I think, the new animation is really solid. I really like that even though there are clearly going to be secrets and mysteries, they tell you things about what's going on right away. So it's not like you're confused. You're like, you at least understand who the main character is. It's not doing the thing where this guy sucks, and then we're going to find out 5 or 8 episodes in, he doesn't actually suck. He's just, this happened. Now we're like, nah, he's the way he is because of this event. And now you can see what's going on with them. And I appreciate that. But yeah, I think Orphan's been solid. My Hero Academia, looks like I thought we were going to get filler, but apparently we are fucking not getting filler after this last arc. They are moving right the fuck along, and things are not cool. So My Hero continues to be great. I watched the new Kuni movie on Netflix, which was neat, but not that good. Yeah, I didn't see that, Lord Crashington. I'm bummed that it wasn't great, but yeah, I did not check that out. Let's see, what else is in cool this season? Inspector is interesting. So Inspector is basically that is like Inspector. It's like investigations and like solving issues with yokai in a world where some people can see them but not everyone can. I thought it was going to be a lot more action, but this second episode was like a murder investigation. Basically, somebody dumped a body in a swamp area that is controlled by like a specter or spirit, and they are very unhappy about that and need to know what's going on. And so it's interesting, but like not my favorite. I don't know. I know that more weird shit is coming, and there's some mystery stuff in it that's interesting. Even the first episode didn't have any action until the end. Most of the episode was like conversations. Someone needs to buy that Initial D car set in the wish list, Sazabi. Yeah, we did. We just, if you, Sazabi, pretty recently we did the other Red Sun's car, the yellow Red Sun's car, not too long ago, that was built off the wish list a couple weeks ago, which was a really fun build. I really enjoyed it. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if I can agree to the condition you want to put in, but if you want to put a condition and pick that up, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, it was only my second glue kit, and it was scary, but every time I do it, I think I get a little better at doing liquid cement. Deja Vu plays the whole time during the screen and the background on loop. Oh, Sazabi, I don't know if I could do that. Not just because the demonetization, but also then the VODs would be silenced probably. I definitely would play Deja Vu, but I don't think I could just do Deja Vu on repeat. Yeah, I don't know if I can pull that off. I'll say this. This is a lot of big pieces for a master grade. Usually master grades, you know, smaller pieces in here. This is one big leg. All right, let's keep building. But yeah, we did Kenichi's car, which was fun. I'm still not great at doing water transfers. Meme stream, yeah. But I'm getting better at doing other kits like that. Okay, so I'm trying to think if there's any other anime shows this season that I think are solid that I would recommend. Okay, so if you like romantic comedy shows, some people do, not everybody, but some people are into it. I think that Science Fell in Love, So I Tried to Prove It, is good. They introduced a character that I'm like, oh, this is like a fangirl, low energy, but also a ball buster character. So I was like, all right, well, that's fun. There is a character who is kind of like the straight person in the scenes of like calling out the ridiculous behavior of some of it, which I appreciate. Washable Markers is going to head out. Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping in. Happy to have you here. And talk to you soon. Washable Markers. But yeah, what was I going to say? It's fun. It's a fun, like, these science students, this couple that are like, or, you know, clearly a couple, clearly have interest in one another, but, like, don't have any experience in it, so they're leaning on their own interest in science. And I think that it ends up leading to kind of an interesting show. I'm definitely would like to watch more of it and see how I feel about it as it goes. But yeah, right now, into it. Like I said, not sure if I'm good, if it's like great, but it's good. And also, you know me, I like a good silly show. I like a good slice of life. I like a good romantic comedy thing. We got some adventure stuff going on right now, which is good. I guess I'm probably gonna watch that. What was it? I haven't watched because I thought it was just gonna be a sad show, but apparently, Somali and the Forest Spirit is not sad. It's good. I have not checked it out, but people that I respect a lot are like, no, this is good. You should be watching it. So, I haven't checked it out yet, but I am. I think it's gonna jump into my watching list. So we'll see. I might check out the first episode this week, but I just got like this like very sad vibe to it. But apparently, like it's probably gonna get sad. But at the very least, it starts kind of interesting, and people seem to really like it. So I do want to give it a try. Especially because, like, I think I only have one thing I watch on Thursday. Yeah, I have one show on Tuesday, or sorry, two shows on Tuesday, one show on Wednesday, one show on Thursday. So I could definitely add another show to my watch list. And then also, like, I'm sure Black Clover is going to take a break at some point. Things are heating up, but also, like, eventually they got to probably take a break because this has been going consistently for a while. I think they took 1 week off around the holiday. So I could see that going full steam ahead. We got one of these things here where, like, as the knee bends, these things slide around. So we got to make sure we lock that in properly here. All right, we got about a half an hour left of the stream. If there's anything y'all are like, I definitely want to talk about this thing. I definitely want to talk about this thing. Like, you know, can't say for sure that I will be able to converse with the thing you want to talk about, but I'm always willing to listen or at least take an option. So if there's something you definitely want to chat about, you let me know, and we can see what's up. But no pressure, of course. If you just want to chill out, if you don't want to chat. There are plenty of you watching right now that are not chatting, and that's okay. I get it. Not everybody wants to chat. It would be, if all 15, 16, 17 of you were chatting as you watched, that would be too many people chatting for me to keep up with everything. Up. Okay, Sazabi redeemed a question I must answer. What's the best mecha series to you? Gundam, Durgam, Code Geass, Macross, Mazinger, or Evangelion? Lashbrook says I took a lap before the stream and expected to play a game or something during it, but I think I'm just going to go back to sleep after. Lashbrook, yeah, I mean, you got a long weekend. You got to recoup. I understand that. Sazabi, so Code Geass, Dangram. That's right. So Code Geass is interesting. Here's the thing, right? Code Geass, the mechs are not the best part of the show, right? They're not the most interesting part of the show. You can also say that about like I think that the mecha, the living organism mecha robot stuff in uh, um, the Tenchi Muyo spinoff is interesting and they're cool looking, but that's not that show. It's a small part of that show. Um, like Knights and Magic has some fucking cool ass mech shit because it's about a kid that's just like, oh wait, I can make magic happen. I can make mechs with magic. I'm gonna do that. So like that show, I think, like is a love letter to mecha stuff and does a good job with it. I would definitely say, most likely, I will say, uh, my heart is with Gundam, and then also the number two is literally not on your list, because it's Gurren Lagann. And yes, there are badass characters that are not part of any robots and fights, but uh, with the exception of one character who just does not have clothes, uh, it is perfect. Uh, I'll say this: Gurren Lagann breaks a incredible cardinal rule in that it murders its best character. And of course he's parts of like the show, he's around, like he's not gone, but like they're just like, nah, this guy is, yeah, this guy was cool, bye-bye. And you're like, oh shit, all right, okay, this show's still happening. You're gonna, okay, well, all right, cool. But Gurren Lagann is a beautiful mecha show that I love very much. But uh, Gundam has my heart from uh, the wackiness and nonsense of G Gundam to the shonen, but like character focused, but incredible Gundam Wing. Our main series, 8th MS Team, Iron Blooded Orphans. Anvil Rings is now following. Thank you, Anvil Rings. Appreciate the follow. Make sure you turn notifications on so you know when I'm streaming, and I appreciate you being here. All right, so we got to put we're gonna put some armor here. We're putting some armor on our legs. Get some armor plating going here. But yeah, there's so many great different kinds of Gundam shows. I mean, look, do I think that the chibi things are good? Generally, I do not. Do I like that there are comedy Gundam shows? Yes, that there are silly Gundam shows. Yeah, I love that. I love that that they like have those things. I don't think they're necessarily great, but I love that they exist, and you could, if you wanted to, get real into them. I like that very much. But yeah, it's Gundam. It's Gundam. And then it's Gundam, Gurren Lagann. Do you plan on making a tier list of mecha shows? That I could do that. Yeah, that's possible. Right now, I've been using pre-made ones or ones that other people have been made, but I will be doing some of my own as well. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't do like too many anime or like too many wrestling and kind of mix it up. I have an idea for an anime one that I don't want to do next week, but I'll do soon. But yeah, I could do a mecha, and then Exo Squad is one, not an anime, and two, not a mecha. I mean, I don't think you can call exoskeletons mechs, but it's Exo Squad. Talk about a anime, a non-anime ass anime. Uh, the Undertaker's. Oh yeah, Sazabi, I definitely want to do Undertaker's like outfits or eras or versions of the character. Oh yeah, I definitely want to do like original Undertaker, Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, Biker Taker, the Return of the Undertaker. You know, or the I'm not choke slamming all the time now. I also have a submission hold Undertaker to the shaved head Undertaker, like this version. I definitely want to do that. Yeah, I want to rank the takers. Um, all right, I gotta put sticker on the outside. Let's get a sticker on here. We only have a couple stickers left, so it's pretty easy to see which one this is. It's this one. But yeah, I want to do. Yeah, I want to mix it up. I want to do wrestling. I want to do more pop culture stuff. I want to do video game stuff. Like I have plans for the Baering the List and ideas of what I want to do. I need to at some point rank. I need a tier ranking of the Black Bulls from Black Clover. Talk about. I know that. I want to find. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of want to wait on that one because there is a character that like I don't know if she becomes an official member or not in the anime, and if she does, I want to wait until she is in the anime. But I could just look that up and find out. I gotta find out. I can't remember his name, but he was a real big dude in wrestling. I want to say he was something like Arnold. Real tall dude. Robert. Wino on steroids. Sazabi, I'm trying to think of. I don't know. I don't know if there's been a wrestler named Arnold that matches what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I can't off the top of my head think of a wrestler named Arnold. So sorry, I can't quite pick up what you're putting out there. All right, so we got to do A37. Let's find that. A37 is. A37 is one of these. Right. Yes, it's one of these. All right. I do like these stickers with a clear and then a green over the clear. I think that looks really sharp. Looks very cool when it's all done. I think these do have a tendency to pop out, but they look good. I don't know. Are you thinking of Prince Albert, aka A-Train? A very big man that was also had a lot of tattoos and like piercings and was very hairy. Are you thinking of because I'm trying to think of like a big man with an A in his name, and I'm thinking of Albert. Definitely not him. Okay, Sasabi. I don't know. Like I literally was just like, that's an A name that I know that is a big wrestler, a big wrestle man. So maybe you're thinking of Albert. Prince Albert in a can. But yeah, I don't know, unfortunately. Sorry, real quick, checking a thing. Nope. Okay, do that. This, do that. Okay. Well, yeah, I do not know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm enjoying the idea of Baering the List and finding things I got to look up. I got to figure out what I'm doing this week. You remember, Sisazabi, okay? Oh. You're talking about Andre the Giant. Yes, Sisabi. Andre the Giant. Okay. Yes. Andre the Giant is a was a literally larger than life figure, and in his heyday, an incredible wrestler. I didn't get to see him be an incredible wrestler when I first got into wrestling because at that time he was definitely slowing down and had been pretty, had his best matches before him, but a great in-ring performer, like I said, larger than life figure. He is incredible in The Princess Bride. He puts on a fantastic performance in that movie. He has jokes in that movie. He has big jokes in that movie that are just great. Um, yeah, he would do a lot of shows when he wasn't in the WWE. He would do a lot of things where he'd be like, "It's a battle royale," and he would just be in the ring and not have to do much and just push people out of the ring, and then he would just win. And that was how he could perform, and people would be excited. Or he would be in a tag match where he wouldn't have to. He would just tag him. The person he was tagging would be like a local the people really liked, and that person would get beat up a lot by the big heels, and then make the hot tag to uh, um, he make the hot tag Andre, who would then just push people around a bit. That's the classic when you get older and just don't want to work as much anymore because you've worked so hard and you're just so tired. You can just do that. And people are like, yeah, all right. I'm just so glad I got to see you. Uh, there was a big Daddy. His name was Big Daddy, and he was a very large, giant, very tall, fat man named Big Daddy. He was a UK wrestler, and Big Daddy was beloved. And it was a great spot. You were in a great spot if you could be a tag team partner with Big Daddy, where you took a lot of abuse and got beat up, and then you'd finally make the hot tag, make the saving tag to Big Daddy, who would then beat everybody up and sit on people. But that gentleman was beloved in the UK wrestling scene, and William Regal speaks very highly of him. William Regal, early in his career, when he was a good guy, would tag with Big Daddy on occasion and have to get just wrecked for a really long time, and then eventually make the tag and have Big Daddy come in and save the day. Suzabi, I really don't remember much of Gremlins 2. I'll admit. I've only watched it a few times. I like Gremlins a lot. Never got super into Gremlins 2. I do think it's very fun that Leonard Maltin is in it, since he had written a very negative review of the first movie. I think it was very fun that he agreed to be in the second one, and thus could not review it. But that did show some class. That he was like, yeah, all right, I'll be in your movie. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of Gremlins 2. I like that they made another one. I don't know why Gremlins doesn't get brought up in the Christmas movies conversation when people talk about Die Hard, or the first Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie, and that doesn't get brought up as much. But people definitely don't say. People definitely don't bring up Gremlins as a Christmas movie, and the first one is totally a Christmas movie. Lethal Weapon definitely doesn't get brought up in the same way Die Hard does. But definitely is. The whole plot point is Murtaugh coming to our not Murtaugh, Murtaugh? I can't remember. It's him coming. Brazil, the best Christmas movie. Lastbrook, I don't totally disagree with you on that one. There was a, people do that what's your favorite? What's the thing of hey, retweet with this? People do that hashtag nonsense. And one of them that I liked that was going around was what's a movie that you saw that you were like, I you that you saw you didn't know anything about before you went in to see it? And for me, that was Brazil. Uh, yes, Sazabi, it is a movie named after a country. Um, I didn't know anything about it, um, but a friend of mine uh, was like, "Oh, there's a midnight screening of this movie. Do you want to go see it?" And I was like, "Yes." Well, because Terry Gilliam is a weirdo, Sazabi. Terry Gilliam is a weirdo, and he made a weird movie, and it's called Brazil, and it's a great, very weird movie, uh, and I recommend it. It's fucking it's fucking great and weird. And I saw it in a late night screening with no knowledge of what it was. And when a certain actor was in it, there are a couple actors that are in that movie that I was like, oh, holy shit. Yes, also Terry Gilliam sucks. Here's the thing. Terry Gilliam just got old and didn't uh uh it is a thing that happens, and in certain things it's age. Sometimes it's some people have always been that way. Some people just grow into it. But as we get older and we get more conservative and we get less willing to talk about things that we don't have any concept of or exceptions of, and then sometimes they just are always sucked, and then you're like, oh, this person sucks. Now, of course, this is talking about the director, not necessarily the movies they make. Yeah, I mean, like, Sazabi, most of Adam Sandler's characters are unlikable. In the heroes of the movies are often very unlikable. Like Little Nicky is just not good at his job, but I don't like hate Little Nicky as like a character. I'm not like mad at him as it's happening. But there are some characters that I am just genuinely like Happy Gilmore. Like the dude, like obviously the guy's dreams got crushed, and I get it. But like, if you're gonna do something, you should research what it is. Like, he's just so unwilling to know like anything about the sport he's playing in. He has so little respect for it that like at the time I remember watching it just going like, "Hey, dude, come on. People care a lot about this. I don't care if they're stuck up. You don't have to be an asshole right now." Uh, but yeah, I think Little Nicky is probably like, and then maybe what's the movie? What's the Adam Sandler movie where he uh gets parental, like he has to like a friend of his like gives up like a kid and he has to look after him, and it's him like growing, like having to become like responsible so that he can take care of this kid, and then we find out at the end that it's Jon Stewart is the dad. um, it's a whole thing, uh, but I remember that movie like he's not super likable as it starts, and like obviously that's the point, and he gets better as it goes along. But I do think that Billy Madison, like, it ends with him just being like, yeah, I did it. And you're like, well, okay, that's what we're just going to, like, maybe you learned something. The biggest change to him is Wedding Singer. Because Wedding Singer, he does, like, have to become a better person and does become a better person than Wedding Singer. That's a good, you know what I'll say? That has always been a watchable Adam Sandler movie. I don't know if Big Daddy. Thank you very much. Okay, Shanatrocity coming in with Big Daddy. That movie is called Big Daddy, and I hope I can be forgiven for forgetting the name of the movie, Big Daddy. Although I did say in this very stream, I remembered the name of the wrestler but not the name of the movie. The name of the wrestler, Big Daddy, but not the wrestler, or not the movie. So that's on me. That's silly. But all right. So I'll get more armor here. But yeah, yeah. I think that Wedding Singer is still like a fun movie. Uh, Wait, is there a rapping? There's a rapping granny in it, isn't there? That's bad. I think there's a rapping granny in that movie, and I'm anti-rapping granny. So, Big Daddy sounds like the name of a porn star. Yeah, I mean it. Actually, in this modern day and age, uh, uh, it sounds like the name of a porn title more than anything else. Bobby Boucher from Waterboy, yeah. Ultron, that's a character with just clear learning disabilities that um, certainly wasn't raised as well as he could have been and had a rough go because of that. Definitely could have used more support in his life. Uh, but overall, that's a fine movie. J. Okay, that's J. I enjoy that movie still. Yeah, I mean, like, there's still parts of it that I'm like, ooh, that didn't age great. Uh, but for the most part, I do think it's pretty solid. All right, we got more clear plastic. This one was easy to understand. There's been a few times where it's like, put this clear plastic piece on, and I'm like, where? And I don't understand. This one was pretty straightforward, so that's nice. Need to make some Big Daddy shrimp. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I think like. Oh, also, Little Nikki has a character who's also in the Water Boy, and there's a crossover there that's very good. Carl Weathers is in both movies. Is the same character in both movies, and I think that rules. All right, so we got. I said this one is nice and easy, and then I'm like, it didn't go in great. Um, Oh, earlier, we talked about the Royal Rumble, and I'll just say I don't want to talk about too much about it, but um, I don't normally say you should watch Being the Elite, which is the YouTube series for a lot of the major players in All Elite Wrestling. Is the thing that they would do to kind of like supplement their road stories and road tours and what was going on in New Japan when they were there and all that. And it is often comedic. Sometimes it is good comedy. Sometimes it is bad comedy. Uh, but I do recommend this last 2 weeks because there is an ongoing fun thing with Orange Cassidy, the best independent wrestler working today, although he's signed to AEW, so he is no longer the best independent wrestler in the world, but he is one of the best out there doing it today. Uh, Fantastic wrestler, great dude, great gimmick. He's going on. Currently has a storyline with uh, a wrestler whose gimmick is that she is an extraterrestrial. She just looks like a lady, but she is an alien that just happens to look like a lady. And they've had this like two little interactions that have been silent, which rules. And like, it's just very fun. It's just been very fun because she's still getting used to like Earth, and he's just like a weird dude, and their interactions have been lovely. So I am recommending that. There's also like a very like they don't say his name, so I don't know if it works. I have a love-hate relationship with how much JR has no time for that gimmick. Well, Ashbrook, I agree. I have a real love-hate relationship with Jim Ross right now. They signed a deal with Taz. I would like them to just have JR come for the pay-per-views. Just have him come for the pay-per-views. Tony, just have it Tony Excalibur on a weekly basis. Jim Ross is not great anymore. He's just not great anymore. All right, we're going to wrap up here. We have finished most of this leg. We got a lot of leg done. We did an arm today. We got some feet done. We made some progress on this build. I'm proud of me and you. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, my next build stream will be on Thursday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, same as tonight. My next stream, though, I will be doing a stream on Wednesday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, running till like 5:30-ish, probably, something like that. I don't know. But it'll be a nice long stream. I'm going to play Hearthstone, and I'm going to be building decks. I'm going to be Aristophan. Thank you for being here. Always happy to have you here, my friend. I'm going to be building some new decks, and I'm excited to work on that. Work on some Galakron Warrior decks. Trying to figure out how to make the Galakron work. Because I have a Rush Galakron that I think is good, but it's not great. And maybe Pirate Orc, or maybe I want to do Taunt Galakron. But do I have the right... I don't have the Taunt Quest. So should it be Quest Taunt Galakron? I don't think it should. Anyway, we'll find out soon. I'll see you next time. I'm going to run an ad. You don't have to watch it. I'd love it if you could watch the ad, because it benefits me financially. Thank you, and see you next time in the next Build with Baer. Bye-bye. Goodbye.